Hello, this is Two Ladies Midwest Adventures. I'm Julietta, and I'm reading Days of the Martyrs on chapter 6. Don't know why I did that.
For fun, I guess.
I'm a weirdo, I guess.
No, you're not.
What do you mean? No, I'm not. I can show you weird.
Thank you for purple kitty.
Return thy cat! No.
No.
No. No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
Jenny, guess what? I got hold of your dragon on your account when you weren't watching your game. Ah, give me my cat! No, give it back! Thank you. Ah! Get out of my neck! Leave my hairs alone, you pull them! No! No! Stop! Stop it! I gotta read! It's already a minute! Now!
I'm looking at happiness.
2 minutes. Let's see. Trajan was succeeded by his cousin and hand-picked successor, Aelius Hadrianus, known to history as Hadrian, best remembered for his immense circular tomb. Interesting. Which is still one of the most familiar sights in Rome. Hadrian, 41 when he became emperor, was, like his kinsman, born in Spain. He held a number of high civil and military posts. A tall, elegant man with a beautiful beard. You know what? It had 2 words combined, and I guess the word that came to mind first was beautiful. Elegant man, and I thought beautiful. Elegant man with a full beard. Who loved music, poetry, literature, and animals. Stop laughing at me, it's not funny. Quit laughing, you hyena.
Hot.
Shush. Hadrian did his best to maintain peace throughout his empire. To do this, he strengthened the army and tried to secure the borders. In Britain, this involved building a massive wall across the northern limits of the territory occupied by Rome, so as to protect the settlements there from the hostile subjected Picts of what's now Scotland in the east. Hadrian decided that the current borders were too hard to defend, and so, in making peace with the Iranians, he ceded them all the land in the east of the Euphrates River. This included the province of Armenia, where persecution against Christians had been raging. Although he was innate in the Eleusinian mysteries, Hadrian seems to have been a religious skeptic who lumped Christianity, Judaism, Gnosticism, and the cult of the Egyptian god Serapis altogether as superstitious humbug. There's no ruler over Sanagrog, no Samaritan, no prebisser, a person who is not an astrologer, and a soothsayer. They have but one God, who is none. Hadrian proudly persecuted Christians less intensely than any second century emperor, except for Commodus, who reigned much later. In fact, Hadrian decreed severe penalties against people who denounced others falsely as Christians. This policy drastically cut the number of accusations and complaints. There were sporadic incidents, however, such as the one who swept a handful of Roman aristocrats to their death. Death in the summer of 124. In June 1. Wait. Did you just repeat the same thing? Which swept a handful of Roman aristocrats to their death in the summer of 1124. In June 124, a deputy council named Cyrillus journeyed to the village of Gabli, outside of Rome, to investigate complaints against Getulius, a wealthy Roman who was alleged to have opened his home to Christian meetings and who was reputed to be instructing inquirers in the forbidden religion. When Cyrillus arrived, he caught Getulius in the act of instructing converts in his home. "Aren't you aware of the emperor's orders?" asked Cyrillus. Getulius replied with an almost insolent flippancy, "Why should the orders of the emperor be obeyed?" "Tell me why they should not be obeyed," insists Cyrillus, urging him to sacrifice to the national gods. Getulius refused. "We must adore God, the Son of God, who is King of kings, and whom all must obey. We must obey him rather than some wormsome being mortal. We must obey him rather than some worm-breeding mortal." Ignoring this insult against the majesty and dignity of the emperor, Cyrillus asked Getulius what he meant when he insisted that God has a son, then asked the Christian to prove to me what the Son of God is in fact a god. Two men conferred at length, but they were joined by Getulius, brother of the tribune Amantus, who was a close friend of Cyrillus. That very day, Cyrillus was persuaded not only to accept baptism, but to remain at Gabli for instruction. Within a few days, the missing civil servant was located at the Christian compound. Along with Getulius, several other members of the community was arrested and taken back to Rome for trial. The judge urged Cyrillus to renounce the Christian faith if he wished to live. "If I didn't want to live, I wouldn't be a Christian." Urged to sacrifice to Jupiter and Mars or die. Getulius retorted, "My life will not be extinguished, and I rejoice with joy unspeakable to refuse to sacrifice to the gods. Do not despise the commands of the emperors," urged the judge, "but obey the mighty gods. I thank my God, the Father Almighty," declared Getulius, "that I am able to offer him an acceptable sacrifice." What sacrifice? Asked the judge. The sacrifice of a broken and contrite heart. Contrite heart. Julius, Cerilius, Amantus, and a man named Primitivus were sentenced to die and taken to a farm outside of the city to be burned alive. Cerilius, Amantus, and Primitivus were burned to death. But the pile of wood upon which Julius was bound was wet and would not burn the victim, so the executioners each uprooted one of the fence posts, which were found in the abundance on the property, and were battered out as wood. Okay. Were burned to death. Okay. And Primitus were burned to death. But the pile of wood upon which Julius was bound was wet, but would not burn the victim. So the executioners each uprooted one of the fence posts, which were found in abundance on the property, and battered out his brains. Dang. The Christians who suffered most under Hadrian were probably the members of the Jerusalem church. After the martyrdom of Saint Simon, 13 bishops succeeded one another in quick succession during the next 28 years. Whether this rapid turnover was due to martyrdoms, we do not know. In 135, however, under leadership of a man named Bar Kochba, which means son of the star, the Jews of Palestine revolted a second time against Roman rule. Ruffin, governor of Palestine, after receiving reinforcements from Rome, suppressed the revolt mercilessly, slaughtering thousands of men, women, and children. And so, for the second Hadrian, they renamed the city of Aelia Capitolia after himself, and insulted both Christians and Jews by erecting temples to Jupiter and Venus over the sites of the Temple of Calvary. Moreover, he forbade all of the Jewish blood to set foot in the area. This included Jewish Christians too, and through this group set up churches throughout Palestine, Syria, and Mesopotamia, I can't even pronounce this stuff. The phenomenon of the Jewish Christianity gradually peered out. Gently peered out. Let's see. Gentile Christians were permitted to live in Jerusalem under the leadership of Bishop Mark, Hadrian's successor. Antonius Pius, who became emperor in 138, was a wealthy landowner from what is now France. A tall man of striking appearance, he was renowned as a scholar and an orator. According to a contemporary biographer, he was called pious because he was most merciful by nature, and did no harsh deeds in his own times. The Christian community at Smyrna could hardly have agreed with this statement. The city was the site of a savage infusion of blood in 155 for this city. Okay. It's 15 minutes. Stay blessed. Make the world a better place, one person, one moment at a time.
Like and subscribe.
So we can get to 1,000 subscribers, start beekeeping.
So we can start beekeeping.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe so we can get to 1,000 subscribers so we can start beekeeping.